Hello, and welcome to this great feast of Corpus Christi, the body and blood of Christ. I think for me personally, this is one of my favorite feast days, celebrating the Eucharist, the institution of the Eucharist as the body and blood of Christ. And we know the Eucharist is the source and summit of our faith. We are taught this in the Catechism. And it's the source and summit of our faith because it's the ultimate act of love, of God's love, and God is love. And I think that's what blows me away about this feast is when we think about the Last Supper, when Jesus institutes the Eucharist, that we really celebrate massively on Holy Thursday, but each year we have this feast as well. Christ takes bread, breaks it, and gives it to his disciples. And I think, and then of course he says, take and eat. And he does the same with the wine. Take and drink. And what I really love is that this is the moment where Christ fulfills that plan of salvation, where he takes his body and breaks it and gives it to us. It is that ultimate act of love that we then see enacted on the cross, physically enacted. But he breaks himself at the Last Supper on Holy Thursday. And this is the moment we celebrate, is that great act of love of him breaking himself willingly out of love for us. He then takes wine and pours it out for us, spilling his blood, willingly doing it, and then we physically see it on Good Friday. And for me, we get to relive this and see this great act of love and experience this great act of love every time we go to Mass. And that amazes me. It blows me away. It's that great act of love. And so on Corpus Christi, we take a special day, not just on Holy Thursday, but we take a special day to really honor that moment. And what the great thing is that we do it every Sunday. Every time we go to Mass, that great act of love is being celebrated again and again and again. Christ showing his love for us in a very tangible way. For me personally, often when we think of Good Friday, it's like he was taken, he was beaten, he was bruised, but the actual happened on Holy Thursday. He broke himself. He poured out his blood for us. Not for anything pointless, but for the greatest act of love that ever was, so that we could be with him, that we could share eternity with him and know him more intimately than ever before, that we could take him into ourselves and become one with him. It's the greatest act of love that we have. And so on this Feast of Corpus Christi, I would encourage you to take some time to meditate on that, to think on that, of how much God loves you and what he did for you and does for you every time we celebrate the Mass. And I would also encourage you to take time to go to adoration if you have it in your parish. If you are able, I know in these COVID times you're not always able, but if you are, and when all of this lifts, I encourage you to go to adoration, to take some time to spend it with Christ in the form of bread, symbolizing that great act of love, and just be with him and feel the love he has for you, to sit with him, to thank him for the sacrifice that he did for us so that we can be with him, to exchange that love with him, and to become more in tune with him, to know him better and to better receive him. All right, so God bless and happy Feast of Corpus Christi.